everybody. I think we have sound.
Yes.
And it worked the first time today. Normally we have to shut it down, turn it on, and shut it off, and turn it back on, and we're running late. But it worked the first time today. Yay! Technology. Woohoo!
Dog.
And Puppy's gonna lay right in the way of the camera getting moved. Mika, come here. Come here. Come here. Good girl.
Thanks.
Good girl. All right, today, kind of a cloudy day again. But, and boy, did we have some weather last night. Hope all of you are safe and all good at your houses. All right, today is National Paper Airplane Day. You should be good for now. So we are gonna make some paper airplanes, 2 different kinds, and then we'll read a story. So, I wrote in the comments up above for under Ferguson time that you needed some 8x11 paper. So something like this can be construction paper, can be white paper, whatever kind of paper. But 2 different planes, so if you have 2 different papers, 2 papers, that's good. The first plane we're going to make is this long one. These planes, I'm really surprised, fly really pretty good. I'm very impressed with how, if you saw beforehand, I was throwing them across the room, they were flying pretty good. Alright, so for that one, we're just going to take our piece of paper, move some of this stuff, and hopefully I can remember how to do this. It's been a little while, like 15 minutes. Alright, so we're going to fold it in half the long way. Fold it in half the long way. So, see, long way.
Hot dog.
Ooh, a hot dog bun.
Yeah, it's hot dog way.
Like a hot dog bun.
Hamburgers the other way.
Oh, all these terms I'm learning. Hannah says this is the hot dog way. She learned. This is the hot dog way. Alright, so we're going to open it back up and set it in front of you. So it's the hot dog way, if you want to say that. I don't know.
You're gonna have fun with that now, aren't you?
I am going to have fun with that. Then we're going to take this top right corner and we're going to meet that line here. Our line that we folded in half is in the middle here. Then maybe you can see a little better. We're going to take this top right corner and fold it to that line to make a triangle. And then we'll fold it down. We have one triangle. And we're going to do the same thing to the top left corner. We're going to fold it down to that center line and press it down. So we have a good fold, a good crease. So now you have 2. If you hold it up, you have 1, 2. And our line down the middle. Alright. Trying not to go too fast here. Everybody doing alright? Got your fold down the middle. Oops. Fold down the middle. Hot dog. Open it up. And we're folding one corner to the middle and the other corner to the middle. Now we have a peak, like a house. Alright, now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take that right side and we're going to fold it in to that center line. This is a little trickier. Might need a little help from Mom and Dad if your hands aren't maybe big enough. I'm going to fold it right down to that center line so our full paper is right on that fold of the center line. So like that. We folded it to the center. And we're going to do the same thing to this side. We're going to fold it over to the center. So there'll be a match pair. They might not be perfectly lined up. Yeah, I did pretty good this time. My last one wasn't totally lined up. They were a little uneven over here. But that's okay. It still works. So now we have 2. And we really have a peak. Almost like a teepee. An Indian teepee. Alright, then we're going to fold that in half.
Back to the hot dog.
Back to the hot dog, except for our hot dog's got a point now. And our hot dog looks like a triangle. And our folds that we did before are on the inside. We can't see our folds anymore. They're on the inside. Okay, then I have to look at this again. Then we're going to do one more fold, and this gets a little thicker. We're going to fold this side, the top of it, down to our main line fold here.
The hot dog, but on the outside.
Yeah. And it's the pointed part that gets kind of thick with our paper.
Especially if you're using construction paper.
Depending on what kind of paper you're using. The construction paper is definitely thicker. Don't use cardstock. That would be really thick paper. You can use a pencil to help you fold those lines. It's kind of hard on your thumb. And then we're going to flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. We're going to fold that down just like we did a second ago. Another hot dog. Fold, fold. And they should kind of line up. Again, if it's not perfect, it's okay. Use our pencil to help with those creases and fold. Kind of want to get that point a little nice and pointed though. As good as you can.
I think the better the point is, the better it flies.
I think so too. But that's hard to do sometimes. So then another thing, so there's your airplane. It's all done and ready to fly. But something that kind of helps a little bit, keep it together, because see how it opens up like that? Is if you take your stapler and you staple underneath a little bit. And that'll just help hold those pieces together better. Let's test it and see if it flies very well. Ooh, that went pretty good. All right, so that's one airplane, just like this one. That's one airplane. The next one we're gonna make is this short little one, and it flies really good. To do this one, you need another piece of paper, and then you're supposed to cut off the long way. You're supposed to cut off a 1.5 inch strip, which is basically the width of my ruler. I measured my ruler earlier, and this is about 1.5 inches. So I'm just gonna lay my ruler alongside of my paper and draw a line. So now I have, you can't see that very good, I should have used a marker. Now I have a line here, and I'm going to cut that part off.
These kids are going to be getting good with scissors.
Yes, we do scissors a lot. Good practice. Alright, so now we have two pieces of our paper. We have 1.5 inch strip. Make sure you cut the long way, not the short way. 1.5 inch strip there. Save this. We're going to use this at the very end. So save that strip. You can move your ruler and your scissors out of the way. Now we're going to take our paper and we're going to fold it hamburger size.
You got it right.
Fold in half the long, I don't know.
Not the long way.
Not the long way, the short way. So it makes a hamburger bun almost a
That's
a square.
more of a square.
Right.
The hot dog is more of a rectangle, and this is more of a square.
Alright. So you folded it in half.
Hamburger style.
Hamburger style, Hannah says. All these new terms I'm learning.
I learned that in like kindergarten.
So if you need a new term, teachers and parents, for cutting and folding, it's hamburger and hot dog. This is hamburger. You're going to open it up, and now we're going to fold it hot dog, which is the long way. You're going to fold it hot dog in half. Line my corners up. Again, you can use your pencil if you want to help you fold, depending on what kind of paper you have. And then you're going to open it up again. So now we have 4 rectangles. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody doing all right so far? I'll give you a minute to get that part done. We're going to fold a little bit more.
And if you need to, you can pause the video or come back to it later.
Exactly. Catch up with us. All right. Now we're going to keep it open like this with our folds. And we're going to fold this part over the top to our middle line where we had our first middle hamburger fold. So we're going to fold that down to our hamburger fold. So our paper just got a little bit shorter. And then you're going to fold it again one more time, just like that. Well, it shouldn't be too hard because you already have your one fold there from your hamburger, when you folded your hamburger. Okay, so once again, we have our long piece of paper, our fold in half, we folded it down to our middle fold, and then we folded it over. Now we're going to do kind of like we did last time, and we're going to take this corner and fold it into the middle. Make sure I'm doing that right. Yep. I just learned this one this morning. The other one I kind of knew already, but it was a little bit different. Alright, so there's our one corner folded down. We're going to do the same thing with the opposite corner. You're going to bring that one down. Use your pencil if you need to. We're getting a lot of folds in there, so then it gets harder. So that's what it looks like now. We got a flap and a flap and a peak. Sure everybody's looks that way. Alright, then we're going to fold it inside again. Have our folds on the inside, like we did our last plane. But we got a few more layers in there, so you're going to want to take your pencil and make those folds a little tighter, a little crisper. Alright. Then this one, you're going to take this flap and you're just going to fold it down a little ways. You want to have like an inch or so. You don't want to fold the nose part, the nose of the airplane. We're just going to fold it. I feel like I did something wrong. Ew. I did do something wrong. Alright, go back, go back, go back. Just one step. Alright, go back to your two folds. You got one fold and one fold in the middle, and we've got a little hut there. We're going to fold it
So the folds are
so
on the outside.
folds are on the outside. The folds are on the outside. Okay? So if you open it up, then we're going to fold on top of those folds. And there, then you have that inch or so that you want to have. We're going to fold that side down, pencil a little bit. You're going to flip it over and fold the other side down, and you want it to line up with what you folded down on the first side. Line it up the best you can. So now they're the same on both sides. I'm going to use my pencil. Ooh. There's a lot of folds in there. Oh my goodness. Alright, so now you can open it up and it looks like that. Now you're going to get your long strip of paper that you cut off earlier, and you're going to cut out a long triangle. So you can just start at one corner and make it however big you want. You want it kind of big. So that's about what I cut off of mine. And then you're going to take this triangle and you're going to stick it inside your fold, and it's going to be
at the very back.
At the back. Yes, there's the front of the nose, and you're going to stick that in the back so it's sticking up a little bit. It slides right in there real nice and easy. Now it's not going to stay in there if we fly it this way, so we're going to take our stapler and we're going to staple him in there. And then we're going to put another staple up top, towards the nose, but not at the nose. So now it all stays together. So there's your second airplane. These fly really good. Let's see. My other one did anyways. Let's see how well this one does. Oh yeah, those fly pretty good. Way better than the planes I used to make when I was a kid.
Too.
Alright, so you can do those today, and if you get on the internet, I bet you can find some other ones that you can make. And maybe you already know a different one of how to make one, and you could take a video of yourself making it and send it to me. That would be awesome. I would love to see that. So, there's our paper airplanes for our National Paper Airplane Day. And we're going to read a story that has to do a little bit with flying. Peter Pan and Wendy. All right, I bet some of you have heard the story of Peter Pan, and this is by Disney, basically, yes. Told by Annie North Bedford and illustrated by the Walt Disney Studios. It's a Walt Disney movie, so if you want, I bet today, if you want to not go outside in the rain, you could ask to maybe watch the Peter Pan movie. All right. Once upon a time, there were 3 children, Wendy, John, and Michael Darling by name. It's Wendy, John, and Michael. They liked bedtime because every night in the nursery, Wendy told stories about Peter Pan. Peter is a little boy who decided never to grow up. He lives in a faraway Neverland full of adventure and fun. Ooh, that sounds like fun. Never grow up. Just have lots of fun all day. The children loved to hear stories about him, and Peter Pan himself, with the fairy Tinkerbell, would come flying down and sit on the nursery window sill to hear the stories. One night, Peter asked the children to come with him to the Neverland. Look, there's Peter Pan and Tinkerbell sitting and listening to Wendy tell the stories to Michael and John. Wendy was delighted, and Peter taught them how to fly. Fly! It was as easy as 1, 2, 3. All it took was a wish and a pinch of pixie dust, and a little practice too. I bet they did have to practice a little bit first. Then out the nursery window they flew, and away to Neverland. The Neverland was a wonderful place, an island in a nameless sea. Oh, look at the island and the boat, and they're flying up in the sky. There were fairies living in the treetop. There were mermaids swimming in the lagoon. There were real red Indians in a village on a cliff. There were woods full of wild animals. There's the mermaids and the Indian tribe. Best of all, there was a ship full of pirates, wicked ones with a especially wicked leader, Captain Hook. Ooh, Captain Hook. Wonder why they called him Captain Hook. Wendy, John, and Michael knew at first sight that they would love the Neverland, and they did. They liked Peter's wonderful underground house with lots of hidden doorways and a great big hollow tree. There they met the Lost Boys, who shared Peter's home, and the boys were delighted that Wendy had come to tell bedtime stories to them. Oh, there's the Lost Boys. But they did not spend much time in that underground house. There were too many exciting things to do. Sometimes they played at war with the Red Indians, who were really their very good friends. Look, they're dancing and having fun with the Indians. Sometimes they had trouble with the wicked pirates, who were their enemies. There's Captain Hook. One day, the pirates stole away Princess Tiger Lily of the Indian tribe. Look, Captain Hook, the pirates have the Indian in the canoe with them. The Indian chief, her father, was all upset, but Peter Pan rescued Tiger Lily and brought her safely home again. That made Captain Hook, the leader of the pirates, madder at Peter Pan than he had ever been. I'll catch that Pan if it's the last thing I do, he vowed, and he laid a wicked plan. Uh-oh, Hook's not happy with Peter Pan. He kidnapped Wendy, John, and Michael and all the Lost Boys while Peter was away, and he took them to his pirate ship. Oh, he's got them tied up around the pole. Now, my fine fellows, said Captain Hook, when he had the boys and Wendy on his ship, which will it be? Will you all turn pirates, or do you want to walk the plank and fall kerplash into the sea? Uh-oh, either they have to become pirates like the rest of them, or they're going to have to walk off the ship into the sea. I guess we'll turn pirates, said the boys, but Wendy would have none of that. I think you should be ashamed of yourself, she said. Peter Pan will rescue us. And she was right, for at the last minute Peter Pan appeared. He beat Captain Hook in a good fair fight, and he freed every one of his friends. They scared those bad pirates into jumping overboard and rowing away in their boat. Yay, Peter Pan saved the day. Hooray, cried Pan. Now the pirate ship is ours. Where shall we sail to? Cried the boys. It's time we went home, Wendy said. Time they went home. Home they went. But I bet they had a lot more fun adventures too. So today it's kind of a stay inside kind of day because it's really wet outside. So you can take your airplanes and you can make some airplanes and you can have a competition with your brothers and sisters and moms and dads and see whose plane flies the farthest. You could even put stickers on them or color them with cool designs with stripes or dots or whatever you want to put on your planes. And then maybe this afternoon you can watch the movie Peter Pan and you can all sit down and maybe have a bowl of popcorn and watch the movie. That would be a fun thing to do. All right, this is going to be our last week of doing story time. So we've got up through Saturday, and then after that we'll find something different we can do with everybody, okay? All right, we'll see you tomorrow at 10:30. Bye, everyone.